So hello. Wait, I won't be right back. No, I am here. Hey. So, right. You'll have to excuse me tonight as I'm having a bit of a cold. But essentially this is the emergency live stream before Eirtakon, which is now tomorrow. Last stream I did was a week ago, missed Monday. And back then I had, 8 days to make the demo. We're getting there. We've built a lot of the tools and fixed a lot of the bugs to get it done. But it's, let's see, the doors open on Eirtakon in 20 hours in the anime convention in Croke Park in Dublin. And we've a long way to go to get a full demo out of this. So, just to connect the dots, what we did the last day is this thing, essentially a tutorial pop-up that uses GIFs, but they're not GIFs, so we had to write our own sprite animator. And then on the stream we found that because I'm setting the background time to 0, it wasn't playing because it relied on time.time. And invoke, I think invoke was the solution. Sprite animator. We were working in the sprite animator script, and essentially, actually I'll show you it here. Tutorial image. The one problem was that the sprites were coming in out of order, so when I dragged all of the individual images in, they just appeared in a random order and made this GIF look crazy. So I managed to put them all on a sprite sheet, 81 images. For that I used desktop. For that I used Texture Packer GUI, and even then I had problems because the max size wasn't big enough, so I had to reset the max size to fit them all in a sprite sheet, and then brought that sprite sheet in. Then I got a frame rate independent spool here, which if I turn it on, so if we're not frame rate independent, we do a repeating invoke on the time. If we are frame rate independent, we start a coroutine and wait for end of frame. So we're doing the animation. The time of next frame. We're using unscaled time is the trick here. So if time.unscaled time is greater than the frames, then we change. So that's how we got it frame rate independent. The heading is just for whatever thing you're trying to teach. So I just put in the temporary text, learn something stupid. But I haven't come back to this since last Thursday. I've been doing other things. I'm nearly actually ready to put one in, but I'm going to keep doing what I was doing first because this is kind of an emergency session. The mic stand. Oh, seen better days. Very old. It's seen a lot of gigs. Let's see. How are we looking? Can still hear me? Is that fixed? Stay. Okay. Hopefully that'll stay. So what I'm doing right now, it's a part of this demo here where I'll want to make sure the player stays within this kind of box area. Just for a few seconds, just to as a movement challenge. So what I want to do right now is that slider that's there, I want that to fill up as you're in there and then trigger an event. So it's a world space canvas and a normal UI slider. Here I have a non-rotation script on it. It's parented to this thing that is moving around, but I have a non-rotate script on it that I wrote. They're easy enough to write, but Unity, I don't think it gives you one, which is awkward for world space UI stuff. You usually want that to stay upright, and I haven't found a way other than writing my own script. That's what I use. So here's Fungus as well, which is now implemented. And actually that continue button I animated myself, the E. But I also have a script that detects if I'm using the gamepad or not, and the gamepad button will be D down. So as soon as I move the sticks or a gamepad button, it changes. Been doing work on waypoints. All sorts of stuff happening. So right now, I want to get that slider. There's one problem with it is that it's above the player most of the time. So I'm just going to set that a layer down, if I can. The canvas here. So this particular canvas I want to be -1, so behind everything. Everything I have is pretty much in the default layer 0, except background stuff. And I'm using depth to sort, which is not ideal at the moment in Unity. But it lets me parallax nicely, and they will be fixing the Z sort depth. There are problems that I'll point out with it. Excuse me. I might do just a shorter stream than normal because of how sick I am. And how in a rush I am. So, one sec. Excuse me. But I missed Monday, so I didn't want to miss 2 in a row. Monday was a bank holiday. I sort of took it off as my only day off, and then I only half took the day off anyway, so I've been working. I haven't had a day off in a couple of weeks, and I won't until next Monday. I'll do the live stream, but I'll take it easy on that day because I'm at Eirtakon all weekend, like every day. So Monday or Tuesday I'll take it easy. Crunch is a bad thing. I generally try not to do it. Try work about 8 hours a day, but when there's a deadline, things change. So this canvas. Canvas wasn't perfectly lined up where I wanted it, but it's okay for now. So I could use a trigger to detect when I'm in this area, but I'm actually just going to do it with script and distance. Just the less objects I'm dealing with, the better for now. So in my demo script, I think I have something already. I have a player that I can, just get the distance up from the player to bridge something. What have I got? I got transform actually. Transform, bridge view. It doesn't need to be public. Bridge view. Bridge view itself is equal to, I do publicly have the bridge view slider dot transform dot parent, or is it 2 parents up? Sliders 1, 2 parents up. Parent dot parent. Okay. So essentially this one script is handling all the logic for this demo level. everything else handles itself. That's a normal thing. But in terms of scripting a level, just putting it in one for now. Whereas we're getting to a place where I can have more systems-based levels, but this is, I suppose, a demo or prototype. Bit of both. So you just do the shortcuts, prove it works, and then come back to do it properly. It's a very scripted level. No, that's not what I need. Where's it? Update, okay. For skipping the intro, actually I'll show you that. I'm actually unduly proud of it. Just, I like it. So you've probably seen the intro before, if you've watched the channel at all, or watched the devlog or the GIFs, you've seen something like this anyway. But if people are dying or just restarting the demo, they might not want to watch that every time. This won't be here at the start, the ship. I'm just testing on it right now. But if we restart it, say, if I hold space or escape or fire or a few different buttons and I hold them for a second, you can see it building up there. It'll just do a nice fade and bring us to the start. So I like that. Looks pretty slick. Unlike me right now. So that's for skipping the intro. First Fungus message. I suppose it'll be after that. Just using all sorts of bools for what happens during the mission. Where's playing the intro? It's gonna currently it's up there. It's gonna keep all the demo logic stuff together. What do I have? I have something to do with the wreck. No, I don't have it yet. Okay. So what happens is you start on your own. You fly around a little. You get told to head towards a wreck. You get to the wreck and it reached wreck. So put a check in there. Reached wreck is true. That was the right one. Should only be one other reference to that. Yeah. So in update, if reached wreck and you haven't bridge checked out bridge okay. So I'm going to need a distance to stay from the point, like an okay distance to be within for this challenge, movement challenge. I'm going to say 3 for now. Or say 2, because it's actually a radius, so it'll be 2 will be 4. Where do I want that? Suppose under demo stuff makes sense. Was it 3 or 4 seconds? Split the difference. Okay, so where are we? Here. If else. So if the vector2 dot distance between player dot transform dot position and bridge view dot position close the bracket is less than, I suppose, or equal to, even though it's a float. Less than or equal to, what did I call it? Bridge checkout distance. No, too many brackets. Yes. Excuse me. Bridge slider dot value added time dot delta time. So in a second it becomes full. So time dot delta time over what do I call it? Bridge checkout time. Thing about doing logic based work when you're sick is your brain is slow. And it's not great. So, and if we're doing that, if bridge slider dot value is equal to 1, yeah, I could do it different ways. Like you can set the max value to be the 4 seconds, or just the default max value is 1. So I'm just dividing the time here so it becomes 1. So we'll just say if the value is 1, checked out bridge equals true. So it'll stop running this. Bridge slider dot value. No, yeah, actually the bridge view game object set active false, because that'll get rid of the waypoint box thing and the slider at the same go. Do fungus stuff. We'll come back to that. Let's see that that's working. I'll have to skip the intro, I think. Yep. Okay, here we are. I should remember to start that at 0, but let's see. Oh, of course, it doesn't think I've checked out the rec, because this is just a copy of the rec. Just gonna set it true for now. I'm gonna turn off that intro as well. Excuse me. Okay. Nothing's happening. Just going to print a test in here. Should start printing true straight away, or should start printing test straight away. Yeah, okay. So this much is true. Distance between... So what's the bridge checkout distance? Now this should at least become a little true sometimes. Should trigger a few times. Even if I'm slightly in the wrong place, I should pass through it more or less. Somewhere over here? No? Okay. So we were in here, so let me just print that distance. Six, yeah. So yeah, that's more or less correct. Oh, let me not collapse that. Can I get that down below? Huh. Right now it says I'm 8 from where I'm meant to be. I look a lot closer to that as far as I'm concerned. Bridge view. That's where the bridge view is. And this is the player. What's going on there? Okay, the bridge view isn't moving. You see when I'm not moving? It's debugging the same number. Exact same number when I'm holding still. Whereas the thing I really want to be looking at is moving around, so that should be changing. So are we looking at the wrong object? Let's make that public. Alright, it's on the wrong bridge view. Okay. Because I have... This one spawns far away, so I've just duplicated it close, but it's finding the wrong one. Since I just made it public, I'm going to set it manually now. Oh, come on. Is it happening again? It is. Did I set the wrong one? I did. I really shouldn't be having two of these here. Other new stuff is obviously the destroyed container that Fred made. There's also a fixed one. Oh god. I know why. Because no matter why I set it, I've just reset it here. And similarly, I'm looking at the wrong slider. Okay. I can undo that. It's the amount of things I'm going to have to do and undo just to check it on the right one. So bridge view slider on the demo script. I'm now setting it deliberately to the wrong one so that I can test it right, but I'll have to remember to put it back. It should be obvious because I'll be deleting one, and then it'll give me a null reference if I haven't reset it. Now, when you're scatterbrained when you're sick, it's not a great time to do work or to have a deadline. So yeah, it goes back to 0 when I'm out of it. Does it go up to 4 seconds? It should be 0, 1, 2, 3. It was a bit quicker than that. Oh, I only set it to 3.5 seconds, didn't I? Ah, yeah. Of course, I have to do that publicly somewhere. Actually, I'm going to make it 2.5 distance, but for 5 seconds. Excuse me. Okay, and then it's done. What's the object that I'm meant to be setting inactive, though? Excuse me. Yeah, I set the bridge view to false. Bridge view is false. Oh, the waypoint isn't part of it, is it? Yeah, okay. So, where am I setting that? Just want to get rid of that waypoint at the same time. Okay, I'm going to have to change how this works. Instead of a void, it's going to return a waypoint script. Turn that. Probably I got a couple of null reference errors from older scripts doing different things, but that is I have two functions for create waypoints, and I changed the other one earlier today, so that one was due to change as well. So that's fine. Waypoint, bridge, check out waypoint I want. Actually, I want to see, now that that returns a waypoint, I want to see, do you have to set it equal to something? Or, no, I will get a few errors for other things, but I want to see if you can just run that line by itself. Then I'll have learned something. What's wrong with that? Not all code paths return a value. Okay, just else return null. Really? No errors? Okay, then I think you are allowed just run that line without having to say it's equal to something, but at any point I want the bridge checkout waypoint to be equal to the waypoint that returns. And here I want to destroy it actually. Well, that didn't work. So what happened? I destroyed the component from the waypoint. Another concern is, actually, I'm a little worse with the gamepad than with the keyboard, is that doing this will be too hard for people to do for 5 seconds. Like, I'm used to it. Yeah, okay, good, it's gone. So I can do Fungus stuff after that. But like, I think it's easy to stay there for 5 seconds in a small little 5 unit zone, 2.5 radius by 2. It was 2.5, wasn't it? But other people may not find it as easy. And I've really got no time to ask anyone to test. Probably. Okay. Just checking on the stream. I do check the chat, by the way, but I don't think anyone's there or anyone's saying anything at the moment. But a few people have told me they've watched the videos after I've done them, so I don't mind streaming to nobody for now, if people are still watching them at some stage. Plus there's an archive here for if and when it picks up. Well, I say here, it's on RetroNeo Games YouTube channel. Okay, so is there anything I want to make private again? I have to make that the correct one. Oh yeah, there is the bool I have to set back to false. Excuse me, I need to sneeze. Dear. Excuse me very much. The problem is that doesn't look quite like I imagined it. I set the waypoint. Yeah, if I bring in a waypoint, I can measure against that, I think. Or not. Where did it go? Where is that waypoint? Okay, I'll give it the bridge view coordinates. So copy component, paste component values onto that. See, the box at its biggest goes to a size of 4.4. I'd explain a lot more of this, but we don't really have time today. At smallest 2.2. Okay, I just want to measure that slider to fit nicely inside that box. Excuse me. Yeah, I definitely think I'll cut this shorter than the 2 hours we do normally. The waypoint's fine. I'll delete it in a second. So this... They kind of look like they're in different places. Yeah, that's definitely more to the right. Like even though it's the exact same. Oh, this is a local position. That's why. Oh, it's only, yeah, it's off by 0.3, so. Okay. Zeroed the ship. Bridge view is now there. This waypoint is in the same place. Now I can line them up like I meant to. Bridge view canvas is okay. It actually fits the exactly correct size, but the slider. What? Everything looks correct. Just move away from some of the ships. Alright, the waypoint is here. This is the waypoint, that is fine. The slider is there. Looks fine now. Oh, I have too many waypoints going on. Can this go plus 20? Yep, I can. And yet up here it does appear to move out to the right. Why is that? Oh, do I have two? Again, it's a case of looking at the wrong one. It's alright, I think that one's okay. So maybe the one... Oh, delete the waypoint before I play. Is it possible it's just getting mixed up between having two now that I've turned off one of them? Ah, okay. Let's see. Will this look right? Please look right. You know what? It'll do. So I want to copy this bridge view, because now I've got it the way I wanted it on this test one. So if I do a proper, more proper test, not a, or a less unproper test. Where's that thing I set true? Then it needs to be false now. So I haven't reached the rec. I see. So I don't want to see that until it's ready. So if I give it a 0 value, it has disappeared. That's okay. I probably now have a null reference on here. Missing bridge view slider, which is now this one. I think everything else will be okay. So when I start the level, that's there because I'm working on it, but that'll go somewhere else. What's the null reference? Game object.find bridge view. Well, actually, now I can just use this. I think it can't find it because it's inactive, but there's a lot of, like, I'm not doing the type of live streaming where someone develops a game twice a week and doesn't do anything in between. I'm full time on this, so there'll be scripts written in them. Oh god, why is that there? Oh yeah, part of my code generated that early. Yes, okay. This is something I'm going to give Fungus to do. Check out bridge. This will spawn that waypoint. This will be called the handy thing about Fungus is well, there's lots of handy things about it. There are things like this. So here's the text I play when I get there. Wait 4.5 seconds and I play this. Then I am waiting for a click, which doesn't have to be a click, just be the input that I've allowed the player to give. So I add a narrative say block. Character talking is command. Portrait is that. You're not meant to have to set the say dialogue every time manually, but at the moment I am having to. I'm not sure why. I'm new to Fungus. So the fleet command. The next thing they're going to say is something like, after they tell you you found it, it's destroyed. We need to I think you can put in italics, but not going to right now. We need a name for a transport ship. I'm gonna call it Endeavour. That's not pre-planned. That's just the first. That's the start. This might be too long a sentence for the say block, but we'll see. Fly along the bridge and hold steady. Yeah, I'll make that 2 say blocks. Good. Add. Actually, I'll just kind of duplicate that. Yeah, great. And I'm waiting for a click again, so I'm having the player be a lot more involved in the hints and things this time, and Fungus is a big help with that. And now, actually no, I don't want it. Let's get rid of that one. I want to add a scripting. Yeah. So then I don't need to worry about timers or positions of craft with this. I'm just going to go to the demo director script and call checkout bridge. Copy that. It's going to send a message that I can give it a delay, but no, I don't see a reason to. So let's see. This will be a longer test, but it should all work. Although if I was thinking ahead, I'd really put in more after that, but let's just make sure that much works. Probably won't. There's bound to be something. So once you get away from your starting area a bit, fleet contacts you. They say this. I'm just going to skip it. I tell you to head over to the wreck that they've detected. Doesn't always spawn in the same place, but you do get a waypoint to it. When you fly near, I wonder how near. Fly nearer. Then the second fungus block triggers. Most of the cargo containers are missing. It must have been pirates. Actually, I'm going to maximize this. You probably can't read on stream. I can barely read. Yeah, in the small window. We need to verify that this is indeed the wreckage of the Endeavour. Fly alongside the bridge and hold steady so we can read the name off the hull. That text got a bit close to the end there, but I don't know. It's okay. Well, it's actually the full stop is on that. I'm going to try and make that sentence just a couple of characters longer just to push it and see what happens, but okay. Once I press E, I think that should, if I get away from there, yeah, should show up a waypoint automatically for go there, do that. So I gotta... Nope. So I'm wondering, like, I'm trying to think of the player noticing that bar as they pass through. I might add a fungus thing that says make sure you hold steady. Yeah, can't believe that all worked. Just as I said, I'd add a couple of characters to that to see if it goes outside the fungus block. I do have a trick for making that appear quicker, but I still have to get there. Try to maximize again. You can skip fungus text as it's writing out. No, I don't like that. It's gone over. But I think the fungus block, the normal fungus block is set up perfectly, I believe. But I altered it to get my own one. So it's my own spacing of the text that's the problem here. It's not fungus. Fungus is golden. Don't you say a bad word. So I don't know. I don't love the Unity anchors. They never seem to do what I want them to do, but I don't know. If I anchor it somewhere in there, I believe that won't happen again. And I can set that inactive. It's fine. Okay, try that again. Should make it closer. The reason I can't skip this one is it's waiting for 5 seconds. That's part of the fungus blocks that I put in. No, it's still... Damn. Let's have a look at it. So I unpause. So add text to it. Okay, so it's really getting too long. If I didn't have a space, would it do that? Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing it can... Oh, God, it's really going quite far out. Why is it doing that? It is wrapping. There's plenty of space underneath it. If I put it in here, just restart it properly. Spawn rec. Just going to spawn up much closer. Here it is. Totally destroyed. It's playing, then it waits 4.5 seconds, and it goes here. So you see the little play icon going through. Then it goes the next one. Yeah, that's no good. That's got to be my fault, though. It's always my fault. It's pretty much no such thing as a bug. It's just something you told it to do that you thought you were telling it to do something else. But then when you rely on other software, the same is true for the other people about what they wrote. Like, Unity bugs do exist. They're just a lot rarer than you think they are. It's usually your fault. Why oh why? Okay. Well, it's not a game-breaking bug or anything. Oops. But it is a bug. Check it out probably after Eirtakon. I'll give the example. Flowchart. Flowchart is a Fungus window. Yeah, the example. Okay. So it basically works. I've sort of skipped over the hint system. I do have a plan. Oh, I'm noticing the webcam has gone funny. I don't know. OBS Studio sometimes has done this. It just stops taking, even if I turn it on and off, it doesn't seem to update. So I'm going to leave that off for the rest of the stream. Yes. Well, we've been an hour. Yeah, the rest of the stream might only be a minute. We've been an hour. I've shown a bit of Fungus, a bit of what I'm doing. But I really need to tear through a lot of stuff to get... What's it now? I'm going to need 8 hours sleep, definitely, because I'm sick. I have to leave for Eirtakon in 16 hours. So I've got basically only 1 day of work left, and that's frankly not enough. Might have to eat into sleep or leave a little late. But definitely I need to speed up, so I'm going to end the stream here. Thanks for watching this as a video. If you have, obviously if you heard me, you have. I need better sign-offs in future. broadcasting personality. I don't have one yet. Today's Thursday, so the next stream is Monday at 3 o'clock UTC. The last while I was having difficulty saying UTC because we were an hour until daylight savings changed off. We were an hour away from UTC, so I want to say Irish Summertime as IST, but that's actually Indian Standard Time as well as standing for Irish Summertime. So could use BST, but people don't always get what that means either. So now I can say UTC until March or April or something. So 3 p.m. UTC, all the channels. I think this microphone keeps dropping. Now to be in front of it, I have to crouch right down. Alright, that's something to ask for Santa. From Santa. New mic stand. Okay, if you're going to Eirtakon, I'll see you there. If not, I'll see you on the Monday live stream. Bye bye.